All right, this says use the four-step process to find S prime of x, S prime of 3, S prime of 2, and I don't know why it says S prime of 3 twice, but this problem just happens to say that, S prime of 3. All right, so my function S of x equals 2x minus 7. Well, if you're getting this definition down that a derivative is a slope, a derivative is a slope, well, isn't this in the form y equals mx plus b? And the slope would be 2. Okay, so I already know the answer. I know the answer is going to be 2, and it doesn't matter at each one of these derivatives, but let's go through this four-step process to show that my answer is going to be 2. So the four-step process says find the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. When you work enough of these, you will see you will get that memorized. And so what you do with this is where you see your function, the 2x minus 7, so this equals the limit as h goes to 0, 2x, where you see an x, plug in x plus h, minus 7. That's this piece. And then minus, where you see an x, plug in an x, which is just my original equation. And that's that piece. So that's there, and that's here, all over h. Now we do the algebra. And so I equal the limit as h goes to 0. I'm going to distribute this 2 to everything in the parentheses. So that's going to give me 2x plus 2h and then minus 7. Let's go ahead and distribute this negative sign. So that's going to give me minus 2x plus 7 all over h. And notice what happens. Everything that is not in terms of h cancels. So I end up with the limit as h goes to 0 of 2h over h. My h's cancel, and didn't I tell you? Right up there, that should be your answer. Now, because there's no variable here, I can't plug anything in. So this S prime of 3 would be, if there was an x, I would plug in a 3. So in other words, all these other answers are just going to be 2. So this is asking, what's the slope at x equals 3? 2. What's the slope at x equals 2? 2. Because the slope, this is linear, I can already see by looking at it, would be 2. And that's what you're doing when you're doing this business down here, is you are finding the slope. Let's say we have this function of f of x equals 2x squared, and the direction says to find the slope of the secant line through the points 1, f of 1, and 1 plus h, f of 1 plus h, where h cannot equal 0. Alright, now this is just a weird way of saying that we're just going to basically use our formula, and our formula is this f